Welcome back to Educational NishNova. You are now listening to the next part of Chapter 3, Plant Kingdom. Let's continue our journey of learning and explore more concepts in this chapter. Sexual reproduction is oogamous and accompanied by complex post-fertilization developments. The common members are Polysiphonia, Porphyra, figure 3.1ek, Gracilaria and Gelidium. 3.2 Bryophytes. Bryophytes include the various mosses and liverworts that are found commonly growing in moist shaded areas in the hills. Figure 3.2. Bryophytes. A. Liverwort, Marchantia. A. Female thallus, Archegoniophore, Gemmacappe. Rhizoids. B. Male thallus, mosses, Antheridiophore, Gemmacappe. Rhizoids. C. Funaria, Gametophyte and Sporophyte. Capsule. Seta. Leaves, Gametophyte. Main axis, Rhizoids. D. Sphagnum, Gametophyte. Antheridial branches. Archegonial branch. Bryophytes are also called amphibians of the plant kingdom because these plants can live in soil but are dependent on water for sexual reproduction. They usually occur in damp, humid, and shaded localities. They play an important role in plant succession on bare rocks, soil. The plant body of bryophytes is more differentiated than that of algae. It is thallus-like and prostrate or erect and attached to the substratum by unicellular or multicellular rhizoids. They lack true roots, stem, or leaves. They may possess root-like, leaf-like, or stem-like structures. The main plant body of the bryophyte is haploid. It produces gametes, hence is called a gametophyte. The sex organs in bryophytes are multicellular. The male sex organ is called antheridium. They produce biflagellate antherozoids. The female sex organ called archegonium is flask-shaped and produces a single egg. The antherozoids are released into water where they come in contact with archegonium. An antherozoid fuses with the egg to produce the zygote. Zygotes do not undergo reduction division immediately. They produce a multicellular body called a sporophyte. The sporophyte is not free-living but attached to the photosynthetic gametophyte and derives nourishment from it. Some cells of the sporophyte undergo reduction division, meiosis, to produce haploid spores. These spores germinate to produce gametophyte. Bryophytes in general are of little economic importance, but some mosses provide food for herbaceous mammals, birds, and other animals. Species of sphagnum, or moss, provide peat that have long been used as fuel and as packing material for transshipment of living material because of their capacity to hold water. Mosses, along with lichens, are the first organisms to colonize rocks and hence are of great ecological importance. They decompose rocks, making the substrate suitable for the growth of higher plants. Since mosses form dense mats on the soil, they reduce the impact of falling rain and prevent soil erosion. The bryophytes are divided into liverworts and mosses. The liverworts grow usually in moist, shady habitats such as banks of streams, marshy ground, damp soil, bark of trees, and deep in the woods. The plant body of a liverwort is thalloid, e.g. Marchantia. The thallus is dorsiventral and closely oppressed to the substrate. The leafy members have tiny leaf-like appendages in two rows on the stem-like structures. Asexual reproduction in liverworts takes place by fragmentation of thalli or by the formation of specialized structures called gemma. Sing.gemma. Gemmae are green, multicellular, asexual buds which develop in small receptacles called gemma cups located on the thalli. The gemmae become detached from the parent body and germinate to form new individuals. During sexual reproduction, male and female sex, organs are produced either on the same or on different thalli. The sporophyte is differentiated into a foot, seta, and capsule. After meiosis, spores are produced within the capsule. These spores germinate to form free-living gametophyte, mosses. The predominant stage of the life cycle of a moss is the gametophyte, which consists of two stages. The first stage is the protonema stage, which develops directly from a spore. It is a creeping, green, branched, and frequently filamentous stage. The second stage is the leafy stage, which develops from the secondary protonema as a lateral bud. They consist of upright, slender axes bearing spirally arranged leaves. They are attached to the soil through multicellular and branched rhizoids. This stage bears the sex organs. Vegetative reproduction in mosses is by fragmentation and budding in the secondary protonema. In sexual reproduction, the sex organs, antheridia and archegonia, are produced at the apex of the leafy shoots. After fertilization, the zygote develops into a sporophyte consisting of a foot, seta and capsule. The sporophyte in mosses is more elaborate than that in liverworts. The capsule contains spores. Spores are formed after meiosis. The mosses have an elaborate mechanism of spore dispersal. Common examples of mosses are Funaria, Polytrichum and Sphagnum, figure 3.2. 3.3 Pteridophytes. The pteridophytes include horsetails and ferns. Pteridophytes are used for medicinal purposes and as soil binders. They are also frequently grown as ornamentals. Evolutionarily, they are the first terrestrial plants to possess vascular tissues, xylem and phloem. You shall study more about these tissues in chapter 6. The pteridophytes are found in cool, damp, shady places, though some may flourish well in sandy soil conditions. You may recall that in bryophytes, the dominant phase in the life cycle is the gametophytic plant body. However, in pteridophytes, the main plant body is a sporophyte, which is differentiated into true root, stem, and leaves. Figure 3.3. These organs possess well-differentiated vascular tissues. The leaves in Pteridophyta are small, microphylls, as in Selaginella, or large macrophylls, as in ferns. The sporophytes bear sporangia that are subtended by leaf-like appendages called sporophylls. In some cases, sporophylls may form distinct compact structures called strobili or cones, Selaginella, equisetum. The sporangia produce spores by meiosis in spore mother cells. The spores germinate to give rise to inconspicuous, small but multicellular figure Pteridophytes. A. Selaginella. B. Equisetum. C. Fern de Salvinia. Free-living, mostly photosynthetic thalloid gametophytes called prothallus. These gametophytes require cool, damp, shady places to grow. Because of this specific restricted requirement and the need for water for fertilization, the spread of living pteridophytes is limited and restricted to narrow geographical regions. The gametophytes bear male and female sex organs called antheridia and archegonia, respectively. Water is required for transfer of antherozoids, the male gametes released from the antheridia to the mouth of archegonium. Fusion of male gamete with the egg present in the archegonium result in the formation of zygote. Zygote thereafter produces a multicellular, well-differentiated sporophyte, which is the dominant phase of the pteridophytes. In majority of the pteridophytes, all the spores are of similar kinds. Such plants are called homosporous. Genera like Selaginella and Salvinia, which produce two kinds of spores, macro, large, and micro, small spores, are known as heterosporous. The megaspores and microspores germinate and give rise to female and male gametophytes, respectively. The female gametophytes in these plants are retained on the parent sporophytes for variable periods. The development of the zygotes into young embryos take place within the female gametophytes. This event is a precursor to the seed habit, considered an important step in evolution. The pteridophytes are further classified into four classes: Psilopsida, Psilotum, Lycopsida, Selaginella, Lycopodium, Sphenopsida, Equisetum, and Pteropsida, Dryopteris, Pteris adiantum. 3.4 Gymnosperms. The gymnosperms, gymnos, naked sperma, seeds, are plants in which the ovules are not enclosed by any ovary wall and remain exposed, both before and after fertilization. The seeds that develop post-fertilization are not covered, i.e., are naked. Gymnosperms include medium-sized trees or tall trees and shrubs. Figure 3.4. One of the gymnosperms, the giant redwood tree sequoia, is one of the tallest tree species. The roots are generally tap roots. Roots in some genera have fungal association in the form of mycorrhiza, pinus, while in some others, cycas, small specialized roots called coralloid roots are associated with N2, fixing cyanobacteria. The stems are unbranched, cycas, or branched, pinus, cedrus. The leaves may be simple or compound. In cycas, the pinnate leaves persist for a few years. The leaves in gymnosperms are well adapted to withstand extremes of temperature, humidity, and wind. In conifers, the needle-like leaves reduce the surface area. Their thick cuticle and sunken stomata also help to reduce water loss. That's all for this part. We'll continue this chapter in the next part. Stay tuned with Educational NishNova, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.